What's up guys, it's Tom here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool news video, and in this video we will talk about Jurgen Klopp possibly threatening a forfeit that Liverpool pull out of the League Cup if there is no adequate date and time set for League Cup quarterfinal. The quarterfinal draw has been out and Aston Villa will play Liverpool in the quarterfinals if there is a date for a proper Liverpool game set up by the EFL. And also the biggest news is that Liverpool want to sign Daniele Rugani. The Juventus centre-back hasn't featured at all this season for Juventus and apparently he wants to leave for regular playing time. And also Liverpool could be selling Dejan Lovren in the January transfer window. So let me know what do you think about this report coming out of Italy. And Rugani, according to this report, has come closer to the end of his Juventus career because he hasn't been playing a lot under Allegri previously, but now under Mauricio Sarri he can't catch a game really. And Rugani signed a contract extension in March, extending his current Juventus contract until 2023, and he is a topic of interest for Arsenal, Manchester United and Liverpool as well. And Rugani has not made a single appearance this season, and I think that is a very big concern for him because he wants to play. He's just 25 years old, so I think this would be a good transfer for Liverpool. Let me know, would this be a good transfer for Liverpool? I think we need at least one more young centre-back because Matip and Lovren are getting closer to 30 years old. In the case of Lovren, he almost left for Roma in the summer, and even AC Milan were interested in buying Dejan Lovren. So that interest is still there, and Lovren could choose to go to these clubs in the January transfer window. But I don't think Rugani would especially want to leave Italy. I think he would prefer maybe a move to AC Milan, who are also interested in a new centre-back. Of course, they will want to buy Rugani, but they could buy Lovren as well. His current value is around 18 to 20 million pounds, so the report believes that a 20 million pound offer would actually convince Juventus to let Rugani go. And Rugani was a very highly rated defender. When he joined Juventus, they were talking about him like he will be replacing Chiellini and Bonucci in the long run. It didn't turn out that way. His form was a little bit inconsistent. He was unconvincing in some of his performances, so he just couldn't cement his place at Juventus. But you have to take it into account that Juventus have some of the best centre-backs in world football. Chiellini and Bonucci are still two of the best centre-backs, and also they have Matthijs de Ligt, who is a very, very good young player as well. And at Juventus he's playing for a winning team, but he's not really playing, he's just in the squad. And I think that he wants to move to a club where he can be a regular. And I think with Joel Matip being so injury prone, there is a place for Rugani at Liverpool in my opinion. But Lovren could be convinced maybe that he has a future at Liverpool, because now Lovren, it looks like with Matip's injury until December, that Lovren will be our second choice centre-back alongside Virgil van Dijk. The evidence for that is that Joe Gomez started alongside Van den Berg in the League Cup, and Joe Gomez wouldn't play in the League Cup if he was playing at Aston Villa on the weekend. So I'm convinced that now Lovren and Van Dijk is Liverpool's first choice centre-back partnership until Joel Matip comes back. So it's going to be very interesting what Liverpool do in the January transfer market. Daniele Rugani is 25 years old. He's 190 centimeters. That's like 6'3" tall. And he is of course Italian. He started off his career at Empoli, where he had two very good seasons before joining Juventus, and he has been playing for Juventus now for actually 5 seasons, and he has a really decent record. Apart from this season, he has been playing 20-25 games for Juventus, so he is always a third or fourth choice centre-back, but he has won a lot of trophies with Juventus. He won 4 Serie A titles, 3 Italian Cups, 2 Italian Super Cups, and he was also voted in the Serie A Team of the Year in the season where he was outed by Juventus and ultimately signed at the end of that season in the 2014-15 season. and he also has 7 caps for the Italian national team. So he's a decent centre back, and for 20 million I think we can be very optimistic that he could be a really good centre back. And I think we need to look at this long term. I think Rugani, if he can get used to the Premier League, he could be a really good replacement for Matip and Lovren long term, because Rugani at 25 years old, he's coming into the peak years of his career, while the other hand, Matip and Lovren, maybe in 2 or 3 years time, they will decline, they will potentially leave Liverpool. I mean, Lovren could even leave as early as January or next summer for regular playing time. And I think we need to bed in Rugani. We need to give him like 6 months to learn the Premier League, learn the new language, and also to get accustomed to playing the Liverpool way. So the League Cup, the Carabao Cup quarter-final draw has been made, and the Manchester clubs got very lucky, because Manchester City will play Oxford United, who are a League 2 club, away from home, and League 1 club, and Manchester United will play League 2 Colchester United. So Man United and Man City are almost 100% guaranteed to go through to the next round. Everton will play Leicester City at Goodison, and Liverpool will play Aston Villa away from home at Villa Park, which is not ideal, but at least it's not a long travel for Liverpool. So I think that Jurgen Klopp actually threatened the Premier League that if they don't find a proper date and time, and he said they shouldn't put the game on Christmas Eve at 3 a.m. So if they don't find a proper date and time for the fixture Aston Villa-Liverpool, then Liverpool might have to pull out of the competition, because we are required to play in the Club World Cup, and let's be honest, it's a much more prestigious trophy to win that than to win the League Cup. Also, I mean, it's an absolute joke that you get £200,000 prize money for winning the League Cup. It's nothing for even a championship team. It's almost nothing. And yes, you get an award of qualifying for the Europa League, but for Liverpool that's not important, because we will be in the Champions League next season. And I think that Jurgen Klopp said some very harsh words about this, and I think he's right. It's absolutely ridiculous that Liverpool have this fixture congestion. And this is what Jurgen Klopp said about the fixture congestion. I am not concerned. Somebody else has to be concerned, because we didn't make the fixtures, we didn't make the schedule. I said it already outside in a TV interview that FIFA said the Club World Cup would be in Qatar and we have to go there, so we do go there. The Premier League tells us we have to play the Premier League, which we do obviously, and play the Carabao Cup, which we did tonight, and if they don't find an appropriate place for us, and that's not 3 a.m. on Christmas Day, and then we don't play it. They have to make that. You have to think about these things. If you have a fixture list where one team cannot be part of all the games, then you have to think about the fixture list. Hopefully it starts at one point. I mean, hopefully it starts now. I really think it is fair. This problem is obvious now, but we will not be the victim of this problem. We played tonight, we wanted to win, we did that, and if they don't find a proper date for us, then we cannot play the next round. So whoever is our opponent will go through, or Arsenal plays, and I cannot change that. We ignore that problem completely for tonight. I think a lot of people from the Premier League were sitting in front of the television hopefully hoping Arsenal can do it, but I'm sorry, we went through. That's brilliant by Jurgen Klopp, and this is basically a direct threat by Jurgen Klopp that if they don't find an appropriate date and time, then Liverpool will pull out of the competition, and Aston Villa go through, and they will go to the semi-finals. I don't think Jurgen Klopp cares about this competition, and Liverpool have a bigger fish to fry, and that's absolutely right. We still have the Champions League, the Premier League, and the Club World Cup that we want to win. I think these are the top priorities for Jurgen Klopp. He doesn't really care about the League Cup. I think it's just a competition to give youngsters and fringe players playing time. And of course, we will try to win the games with the young players that we field. but if we go out, it's not a disaster, it's not the end of the world. But if we get to the final with the young players, then I think maybe in the final Liverpool will play their strongest team, but until then it's time for the kids to play. And Jurgen Klopp said he's very excited about Harvey Elliott. He made another really good performance against Arsenal. This is what he said: he's an exceptional talent, absolutely, and he's a nice kid as well. To see him, how he encouraged the crowd around the corners. I had a couple of moments where I was really touched by tonight, to be honest. So for a few moments, that's really cool. When I was already in the dressing room and I saw on the TV screen that he's still doing his lap of honor and giving pretty much everything away, and that's too nice. For tonight, we can speak about them for as long and as often as you want. That's great, but they all have to work. The younger you are, the longer your career is ahead of you, will be, and they have to prepare for that. But to give these kinds of signs they gave tonight, I think was really nice for the people, I think. On the bench, there were a few really good talents too. I liked it a lot. He played really well, not like you would expect a 16-year-old boy to play. That's cool. I mean, it's just incredible how Harvey Elliott is playing for Liverpool. He already plays like a seasoned professional, and he's just a 16-year-old kid. I can't imagine having been like a 16-year-old from high school playing for Liverpool, living his dream. He even posted on his Instagram, Harvey Elliott, that he's living his dream, and that's just brilliant. And I'm so happy about him and about all the young players. Ryan Brewster also impressed me. Nico Williams, what a debut for him to get the winning assist for, sorry, not the winning, but the equalizing goals assist. Is just terrific. Curtis Jones, another Scouser, scoring the winning penalty. There are so many storylines in this Liverpool-Arsenal game. It's just brilliant. And James Milner this morning posted a very funny tweet on his Twitter. He said, how to learn a lot about young players: concede 5 goals, have a penalty shootout at the cup end. Some great performances last night, James Milner said, and some mistakes. An unbelievable attitude and heart from this team. And after some mistakes, he actually put an emoji where he holds his hand up, which is brilliant. And of course, James Milner, I mean, he's just a brilliant professional. And he made a mistake last night for the 4th Arsenal goal, I believe. But as I said in this tweet, he apologized. Basically, he held his hand up. And it was just brilliant that we still could qualify to the quarterfinals. Naby Keita, let's talk about him. He went off injured, and Jurgen Klopp is hoping that it's not too serious. Of course, we have to wait for the result of the scan, but Jurgen Klopp said if Naby's injury is not so serious, which I hope, then it was a nearly perfect night. He felt a little bit. I saw it. He slipped when he lost the ball. He slipped away. I saw him limping afterwards, and that's why we substituted him. It was just an unlucky slip. Sometimes you slip on a football pitch. If any of you guys played football, you know that even it happens to even the best players in the world. And he pulled his one of his muscles, I think, a little bit. So that's why it was a precaution basically to substitute him. Hopefully it's not too serious and he will be back for the weekend, or at least for the Champions League game against Genk. And I'm really hoping that Naby Keita can really kickstart his career, because I think that he needs a good run in this Liverpool team. And Fernando Torres, what do you think about him? Now that he retired from professional football, he's actually very excited to go back to Anfield and play for Liverpool again in the Liverpool Legends game. And this is what he said: I received many invitations from Liverpool to play with them in the past, but I couldn't do it because I was still playing. So I will be so happy to come back and play in a Liverpool shirt again. That song has been the soundtrack of my career for many years, that Fernando Torres song. I still feel something special when I hear it. It happened in 2015 when I came back. It made me feel happy because I know how important the relationship is between players and fans. I felt so proud from the first day here. I know some of the best strikers in history played for Liverpool at Anfield, so these fans saw many good players. So it's a privilege for them to make a song for me. I remember to listen to that song many times when I played at home and away, and to listen to it for one more time will be special again. Fernando Torres was one of my favorite players growing up as a Liverpool fan, and I was very, very heartbroken when he left for Chelsea, especially with the way that he left and saying some controversial things in his first Chelsea interview. But I think it's all water under the bridge now. We should embrace him now as one of the legendary Liverpool players of the Premier League era. And I want to forgive him and just see and remember his best bits at Liverpool. And he scored so many brilliant goals, and it will be good to see him once again in a Liverpool shirt. So yeah, let me know what you think about all the topics that we discussed. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. See you later, guys. Goodbye.